Hey everyone, welcome back to yet another Minecraft tutorials. In this episode, I'm going to teach you all how to use Tesseracts. Now, in the last episode, I showed you all how to create a system over here that was set up to sort and how to transport between pipes. So in this episode, I'm going to show you how to pretty much do the same thing with Tesseracts and also other things you can do with Tesseracts. So first thing, these are the items that we're going to pretty much be using. Most of them, anyway. So let's first do a liquid tesseract. Now what tesseracts are, they are pretty much, if you've ever played earlier versions of Tekkit, they are considered void pipes and everything else like that. So, what we're going to now do is set it up where something transfers from something else to another item or location. So let's say I have a base over here, or let's say this is where our quarry is that we are storing up liquid, and we also want to send that back to the base. So let's put that here. That's our well, and let's say our base is over here. Okay. And we want to now bring it over into the warehouse, which houses all our other tanks. And let's get rid of that one. Okay. So what we're going to now need is, well, we can't just bring buckets over here all the time. I mean, we could, but that'll just take forever and a lot of buckets wasted. So let's just fill this up and I'll show you guys what to do. So first things first, in order to use this, we're going to need to use a thing called a transport pipe, but not just any kind of transport pipe, but a liquid transport pipe. And let's see here. Don't have any on me, so we're going to get some. So we're going to need a liquid transport, or a liquiduct. Yeah, liquiduct, sorry. In this version, it's liquiduct. Okay, so we get our liquiducts, and then we put this here. And let's bring it out a bit, and then we put a tesseract right here. So then we right-click this tesseract. Now this is the interface for the tesseract. Now how to use any tesseract is pretty much the same thing. Right now, it's inactive. Now, in order to use a tesseract, first you have to pretty much identify it. So we're going to name this mine. And we're going to make the property for the mine 18. So what we're going to do is we're going to save this as a frequency. And then we're going to set it. Now that it's set, as you can see, it's no longer saying inactive. So that means this right now is active and can send out. Now, whenever you do it this way, right now it's unsecured. So if anyone else made a tesseract, they would be able to take your fuel. So in order to stop that, you come over here, and then you have these two options. This one will lock it. If you put it in owner only, as you can see, you have a blank list right here. And let's say you add it. Well, now it'll only be able for you to see. However, if you did it first, without doing that, it'll still pop up here. So let's say, delete this here. Okay, break that. Unlock it. As you see, it's gone. But if you lock it, it'll still be here in your personal settings. Okay, so let's just set that up. And then we'll come over here, and we'll say that this is the spot where we're going to put the import. So we'll put this right here, and then we'll put in the second tesseract right here. And then we get our liquiduct, bring it inwards, however you want it. Let's say if you want to just put it directly in, like this, or you can pretty much however you want. Let's just bring it out like this. Break it out, and we'll just bring it down like this. Okay, so now we have this. Now let's say you want to be able to just receive in this one. That's where this one comes in. So first off, this one's not set. So we need to set this to the mine. Now that they're both set to the same frequency, they'll both communicate with each other. Now we're going to have this set up where we receive. Transport mode receive. This is the receiving end, so it'll be coming in. Which means the other one over here will need to be set up to either send or receive. But let's, for this tutorial, make it send. Okay? So now this will send to that one over there, because they're on the same frequency. Technically, this will send to any one that you have a frequency matching it. Now, of course, it won't send you the same amount to every one. It'll split it up between them, and you'll end up having fuel all over the place, or water. This will work for any liquid that can go inside a tank or anything like that. Okay, so let's just fly up here. Okay, so now we have this set up like this. Now what we're going to need to do is pull from it. So that's where we get our wonderful little redstone engines and levers. So let's get a redstone engine. And we're going to need something that we can stick on top. Hold on. Okay, as you see, this cannot connect to that pipe. So we're going to need something else that will pull from it. So if you do wood, then you come in, you'll see that there is a wooden conductive pipe, a wooden waterproof pipe, and a wooden transport pipe. What we're going to need is a wooden waterproof pipe. Then you're going to want to click on that. And as you see, this is set up where it should be going outwards. So now what we gotta do is put a redstone engine on here. And as you can see, when you put the redstone engine on it, it'll immediately connect the liquid up to it. Because now it understands that we're going to use this to pull from and send out. So now, let's just get our lever on here, flip the switch, and then in a moment, you should start to see some oil filling into here. And as you can see, now it's coming into this. And if we come over here, where the liquid duct is, now you can see oil coming in here, and now it's filling up our tanks over here. And then, as I said, you can do this for anything, such as if you had a pump and there's an oil field, you can do the same thing. Put the liquid tesseract on top of the pump. Instead of having water pipes coming out, the tesseract will act as a pipe and just collect it all, and it'll start sending it. So you don't need to have pipes when you're connecting it to something. Okay, so that right there is how to use liquid. Next, we're going to do the item tesseract. So let's just get these. Alright. One item tesseract. Okay, so now let's say I had a query over here. So let's just build us a quick little query. Okay. So now we'll hit this query, throw it down right here, and we'll make it more easier. Okay. So now, here's our query. We're going to turn this on. But we don't have power. Now we could put this down right here, but here comes the next part. We're also going to show you how to do the energy tesseract at the same time. Now, energy, as I said, is all tesseracts are pretty much the same function. So let's just get a quick little energy setup over here. So let's just say I had this redstone energy cube at our base, hooked up to our generator, and it's just doing nothing. But we don't want to just keep carrying back and forth. So we'll have these energy cubes right here, 2 energy cubes. And then let's say we want to connect them. So you can do this via a redstone energy conduit, or you can also use the other conduits such as the hold on, the wood, what's it, not wood, pipe. You can also use the conductive pipes. Now you use wooden to extract from it, stone, or whatever else to then push outward. So let us get, let's use redstone energy conduit for this one. Now for energy conduits, as you can see, right now there is a blue line here, and it looks like a little arrow here. That means it's pushing energy this way instead of pulling out. Now in order to change this setting, all you need to use is some sort of wrench. So let's just pull out a wrench. I'll use a quartz wrench. As you can see, now it's an orange line here and the arrow's pointing this way, which means now it's pushing outwards into this cable. So now let's just bring this out one spot. Then let's put a energy tesseract right here. Now when we right click it, it has the same interface, but if you switch to private, now you don't see the query one listed. That's because that is a completely different tesseract, so it won't try to get them mixed up. So you'll never have to worry about fuel trying to come into your chests and items going into pipes for liquids. So now let's just name this base power. So now we're going to send this to send only. And then we're going to have it locked. And then we're going to put the code to 01. Check, and then we'll save it. Okay. And then let's come over here. Now, if we were to put a tesseract here, it is not charging this up yet because we have not yet linked it to that one. So before we link it, we're going to also want to hook up the item tesseracts. So let's come over to our sorting system. Is this still producing anything at this moment? No, it is not. Okay. So if you all remember from the last episode, this right here was a setup to pull from a chest. This time, we're not going to pull from a chest. Instead, we're going to have it come in from a tesseract. So let's just break these for now. And we're going to put one item tesseract here. And then we're going to get any kind of transport pipe. So let's just do a cobblestone transport pipe because that's the one that we have in front of it. And let's put that right here. And then for our sorter, I'm just going to erase. Actually, we have cobblestone listed, so we'll just keep cobblestone there. Okay, so now this is set up. So we're going to set this to its own frequency. So let's make it private. And this one's going to be receive only. And we're going to name this base sorter. So then we're going to give this 22. Check, add. And now this is set up. So now, when we're all the way over here, that one will receive. And now we'll just need to put these down here. So let's put an item tesseract in front of it. Now, as I said, these already have a property to act like a pipe, so you don't need to have a pipe right in front of it or aside for either of these. You can just put them right in front of it. So I found it's best to put the item tesseract in front and an energy tesseract on any side. So put the energy tesseract, switch to private mode, and then we're going to have this send only to the base sorter. And then, see how this is still not going yet? This is linked to a sorter, doesn't have any energy coming in. But if we go over to our energy tesseract, make it private, base power, check, and then receive only. Now this is starting up. So that means this right here is pulling from this power supply right here. And if you look, we are losing power from our base because it's being sent from here over to the query. So that means you can have these queries set up anywhere around the world and not keep checking power to it. Now, another thing that I always like to do is whenever doing this method, let's say you want to have a query many chunks far away, like let's say 1,000 blocks that way. Now, this query will keep what's inside this box chunk loaded. However, these right here will not be chunk loaded. So, in order to fix that, go 2 blocks behind it, put another query right here. So now that keeps these loaded. However, this is not powered, so it won't mine them. So now, no matter what, even if you're off and this is on a server and you're off, this will maintain the properties and keep mining for you. And then let's say you want power, so you go over to your power supply, do the same thing here. Make sure it's at least 1 block behind it, so that to keep the power chunk loaded, and then you can do the same thing for whatever else. So since we're trying to right now do a query, we'll come over here and keep our tesseract and sorting system all chunk loaded. So now that's chunk loaded. Now, as you can see, the dirt is being just thrown out right now, but that's because of our sorting system's not told how to use dirt. So we can always just right click here and then cobble and say put the dirt in there. And if you want to see how to make this sorting system, check out our other videos, and it'll show the last episode we did, which is how to build this. Okay, and as you can see now, it's bringing in the cobblestone and everything else. So it's receiving everything from this query. And as you can see, when you have redstone energy cubes or high amounts of energy, it will bring it in and mine very fast. So as you can see, yeah, I think we're doing pretty well. If this was Tekkit and we tried to do this out of a bat box, we'd be here for about, I don't know, a week. So yeah. So that right there is how you can use tesseracts. We explained how to use the item tesseract, energy tesseract, and we also showed you how to use liquid tesseract. So now you should be able to use this in your game mode. It works on single player and multiplayer. So thanks for watching, and I hope this video helped you in some way or another. Goodbye.